Alright. I guess we're gonna just do it. Twitch says that it's unstable because the bitrate is too high. So if I freeze or pause, please spam the chat. And I will try and fix it. It might require a stream restart, which is what I don't want to do, but that just might be what is necessary. Any technical support is appreciated. This is typically the part in the broadcast where I talk about myself and all the personal stuff, because I just assume that whoever actually wants to watch this is going to be here first and foremost. So, what have I done? Well, I spent the entire weekend at the beach, which was pretty cool. And then I took yesterday off. I was supposed to stream yesterday, and then I woke up with a big fat headache. And I was like, nah. Which is good, because I genuinely needed the time off. I had a very good weekend, full of good times with friends. But it kind of drained me in terms of my social capacity, and that's kind of what I need in order to do this. So it's probably a good thing that I did not stream yesterday. In other news, you can ask, hey Frank, so why did you take the day off yesterday? And I'm gonna respond with, well, what I did was I played Destiny 2 all day, which is maybe the most cringe thing I've ever said. But that game, I hate that. If I decide, hey, I want to play this for a little bit, it's actually like kind of fun. And the gameplay feels good. So, man, I also did a little bit of offline development. So I know in the last stream back last Thursday, we actually got blocking set up a little bit, so it would work animation wise if we started with a sword, which we should. We could then hold right click and we can block. And the only thing that I actually added is I went into our health component, or not our health component, our combat manager. And I added in a couple of things. The first is I changed sort of how damage is dealt. So now we check if the player is blocking, and then we either do the actual damage amount minus the blocked damage amount, or we just do the base damage. Sorry. And if we're blocking, we send a block signal to the player. It's kind of hard to show you these. I might be able to get them up and running. But it requires 2 computers or 2 controllers. So it's kind of not the easiest demo to do, but it's definitely neat. And then every single sword can now block damage. They all block 100% of incoming damage, which I might change. But yeah, that block signal that I mentioned, all it does is it brings it procedurally animates whatever sword we're using. So that's what I got. I guess it's time to say what is our plan for the day in terms of what are we actually gonna do, what are we developing today. It's all great to hear what I did over the weekend, but ultimately that doesn't really matter if we don't have anything to do today. So what do we got? I wrote the list. So today, oh, that's really thin. Today, goal number 1 is to add all of the second attacks. Oh, okay. I feel like every time I start this, I have to relearn how to write with a mouse. Okay, so add the second attacks, and then actually enable them. Because we can add each weapon has its own weapon data. Give me 1 second to actually show you. So we have our weapons, and let's just go to the D type. We have our weapon data, and this contains an attack data, so we can just add another attack data for the other attack, which already exists. The animation existed in the previous prototype, so I can just bring that forwards. And then we just need to enable that in the combat manager, because right now I'm pretty sure if we look at our mono behavior, just kidding, we can look at our get attack data, and get attack data right now, it's supposed to return some attack based on a combo system, which this right here is where we're going to implement the combat system. But I just want to make sure that all the other attacks work, so we'll just make it check something and then go from the first attack to the, from the first attack to the an additional one. Yeah. Then if we get all of that done, I want to add a main menu background. Just because right now our main menu is looking kind of rough. It still looks very in development, which is fine. And I'm not going to change anything about the actual UI yet. But I am going to add a background, just so it looks a little more like a game and a little less like, hey, this is the bare minimum. And then I want to do the same thing for the lobby. Oh, wow. Lobby background. So this one, I'm going to actually change the color. The lobby background is going to be an image based on the current selected map. Based on map, and this is just going to be in our on startup. We'll player prefs or random number. Okay. And then if all of that gets done, we'll have to just pick some shit. I actually want to get some development done on this. I looked at my schedule for the next 3 weeks, and I have a week away. So I'm going to stream today. I'm going to stream next Thursday, which will be the 28th. And then I will stream the following Monday, the 1st. Those are the only streams I'm going to be able to get in the next, including this week, 3 weeks. Which is a little rough. But we got to make the most of it, and I want to do as much actual work as I can. I guess last little bit of personal updates. The cookie clicker run is going great. We're getting closer and closer to the number of heavenly chips that we already had. But it's really only when we're stacking 2 or 3 buffs at a time, which kind of sucks. Also, I don't know why, but these 2 seasons just are deciding that they don't want to kind of give me the extra bonuses, and I don't know how to get them to. So, all right, I guess let's get started. I want to add in all these second attacks. I mean, we already have our first attack, and we already have the animation, and we already have the animation controller set up to go to those attacks. What am I looking for? I'm looking for an attack data. So D type attack 2. Something. My desk is wobbling. That's fine. Okay. So here you can see we have secondary, and we have our attack lengths. I am going to add another project tab, and I'm going to make sure that one's locked. This one I also want to be locked. I just remembered one possible thing that I might want to add to the list today is if we get all of our stuff done. That's what we want to get done. And I want to add. God, letters were so much better. I want to add surface hits, which are decals. And I don't know. Like right now, that's just one checkbox, but decals. And I think because I've updated the engine enough, we can actually apply decals to just certain layers, which will be good. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's add in our second attack. We're basically just going to be copying values over from the old prototype to the new one. So look, we have a secondary attack. Let's add an inspector and let's lock this one, and we'll lock this one. So it's probably called secondary. Our attack length is this, and our we'll copy that. We'll copy that. We do this and we bring on our animation. We want to look at secondary. I just want to see. Okay, so we'd want it to be active from what frames are these? So definitely to point to 33/60 is our end time, so 0.55 is our end time. And probably 21/60 is going to be, so 0.35 is going to be that. What's it called? I don't know. That's a start time. I'm waking up. I need to have my coffee. Man. Okay. Jesus. Okay. So that might already be the secondary attack. Yeah. Alright, well then let's add it to our weapon data before I forget. Nope. No. We can just add it like that. And now here in our weapon, we're just going to want to do Unity engine dot random dot, it's just range, isn't it? Yeah, random dot range 0 comma dot attacks dot count -1. Yep. Oh, max min inclusive, max exclusive. So then we can just do the count. So then it will go from 0 to 2, but it won't include 2, so it's just 0 and 1. I can work with that. Save it. And now we just want to see if it plays in animation. We want to see if it plays the new one, but we're going to need to depend on a random value being generated to give us that new one which is gonna be super cool, super fun, so fresh and so clean. Okay. Man, I need to like wake up. Maybe I should start the stream. But oh, hey, look, first try. First try. Yeah. Sword combos is going to be the most interesting thing to try and add. And I might make it that certain swords can do combos and certain can't. I mean, realistically, I guess we could load up a Halo custom game and just swing the swords around. But I'm pretty sure the energy sword, which is what this melee combat is sort of based off of, does not have combos. At least not in like 1, 2, 3 in reach. You swing it, there's like a lockout period, and you swing it again. Wow. Wow. Yeah, you know what? Let's look. Let's load up. I have a button actually for it. And please don't make me log in. Yeah, I just want to see how exactly it does it. This isn't going to be at all implemented today, but if I'm going to implement sword combos, sorry, I want to make sure that I get it sort of feeling the way that I'd expect it to, and I think the way that I'm going to do that is by getting it feeling like the way it does in Halo. Hi, thank you. Multiplayer, custom multiplayer, reach, options, general settings, Spartan loadouts, tier 1 loadouts, energy sword. Cool. Back, accept, and start. God, this is such a controller-centric menu, and I love it. All right, so let's see how we're looking. Yeah, so you can kind of tell. We have two sort of attacks. We have our normal attack, and then this is our melee button, which is more of a quick jab, whereas this one takes a good amount of reset time. Yeah. Now there's definitely multiple animations. Like it's not just one each time. So what we might end up needing to do then is creating, say, like 4 melee or 4 light and 4 heavies. Because right now when we play this, we have 2 animations. We have the over the top one, which is more heavy, and we have our normal swing, which I'd say is more light. And it's random. So like that's more light, that's more heavy. That's more light, that's more heavy. That's more heavy, that's more light. At least random is kind of working. But they take slightly different lengths depending on what you're doing. And to be honest, I kind of wish that those were on different controls, just because to me, if you have 2 attacks that take different amounts of time on the same button, it's really, really hard to figure out what is what's going to be next, especially if it's random. what we could do then is have combos be sort of a system where, say it's a light attack for a certain, like 3 times in a row, and then a heavy one. Light attack 3 times in a row, heavy one. That's actually possible. I'm gonna write that down. For sword combos, we're gonna want, I'm gonna say 4x light attacks, 4x heavy attacks, and they're all gonna be very similar, just like with rotations and stuff a little off. And then combos will be a set pattern, and we can change this pattern on each sword. Okay, so those are just some notes for combos. I can close this out. That was a really great tunnel for me to just go down, because it in no way impacts what we're doing right now. So we already sort of like half enabled this. I'll work on getting this a little more done. When, and by done I mean like we'll implement sword combos later, and this will be a little more rigid, it'll be iteratively closer to what I actually want, whereas right now it's just spitting out a random attack. So we can go through and we can add the second attacks for all of the other swords. So let's do the K-type next. Okay, it's K-type attack 2. Oh, 2, just to keep the naming scheme. And I'm gonna copy this and then I'm gonna do that. There we go. Alright, now we want our attack length. Is that? These are all gonna be sort of significantly longer animations because the secondaries were all like the heavy attacks. So they're going to take a little longer, and they're going to be a little heavier, if that makes sense. Okay, so sort of same thing. We want it to start at 0.16. Oh god, what is my dad texting me? I don't know. Something about a plane. Looks like a Trump plane. So 16 over 60 is 0.266. And then we want it to be active through 0.25. So 25 over 60 is 0.416. Alright, so that's just going to be when we enable and disable our attack trigger. I hate that word. I hate that word. It's fine. It's whatever. And then we can steal this. That's cool. This is not implemented at all yet, but it's okay. So we can go through and remove that, and that should be the K-type one done. I'm gonna test it. It's a really bad omen not to test what you're working on and just assuming that it works. It's not a good call. It's like if you build a PC and then you try and boot it without, or after putting the side panel on. It's just a bad idea. Okay, that looks like the same animation over and over and over again. What do we got going on here? You know what? Here's what we got going on. This is why we test before we move on. We never actually added the attack data. So it literally can't find it because it hasn't been told that it exists. Love that. We love that. Okay, you're gonna work now? added the same one twice. I'm really good at making games, guys. I swear. That's oh my god. Okay, does it work now? I'm assuming it's gonna work now. One. Yep. Okay. Cool. So I feel like I do this bit every single time, but when you're debugging something, you have an in and you have an out. And there's a process. So in this case, it was like click to swinging the sword. And something along this line, because everything is a process, you set up something that is not working. So you pick something in the middle, and you check if it's this way or if it's this way. Is it before or after? And then you pick another thing, and then you do the same process until you narrow it down and you find the thing that you messed up. The issue is never any of the code. The reason it's called a bug is because the code's doing exactly what you told it to. And in fact, like in my case, this is me. I'm just sitting here. I'm the one who stuck my grubby little fingers in there, put the bug in there. And it's usually my own incompetence that prevents me from moving faster. Okay. So that's 2 down. Holy shite. We love that. Love that for me. Super great. Now we can move on to the G-type. Okay. Attack data. G-type attack 2. Coolio. Some would say Gangster's Paradise. Secondary. Alright, so our attack length is longer than a second. That's gonna be fun. It's gonna be super fun. Secondary. Alright. And so probably 21, which we already did this, but I forgot. So 21 over 60. 0.35 is the start. And then it's going to go until exactly halfway. So 0.5. And then we're going to steal this. Yeah. Okay. Alright, and then before we do exactly what we already fucked up with last time, let's add the correct attack as a G-type attack. We can remove it from our scene, and we can test it. Okay, yeah, there we go. Now we have 2 swing attacks. We have the little jab one, and then we have the other one, which I can't say is gonna be whenever because it's on random, but it swings across the screen. All of these attacks definitely still need camera shake, which is fun. I might try and write a procedural camera shake thingy. But I very much need to like go back and check an old version of the project and see how it worked, because it used an animation system, which is not exactly the best way to do that. God, I hate my own mouse writing. Camera shake. There we go. That's a reference for like 3 whole people. Okay, so that's the G-type. We only got 2 more. So we have the E-type, which is what I'll do next. Secondary attack. Lock it. This one. We gotta make our thingy. Castle Wars combat. Attack data. G. Nope. E type. Attack 2. Boom, boom. Secondary, we can steal our attack length. Man, it's another one that's like kind of long. We can put this in here. And then let's look at our secondary. And so we put over and then we put it to our left side and then we drag it across. Cool. So we start dragging like here, we'll say, so 17 over 60 is our start, so 0.283. 0.283. And we finish it here, 0.25, or 20, not 0.25, 25 frames out of 60, so 0.416. And then again, we can just steal that data, so we don't need to do it later. Okay. And then we got to do that thing that I need to make sure that I do on each one, which is actually add the attack to our list of attacks. And then we can just remove the E-type from our scene and test to make sure that it's working. But it should be, unless yep. Oh, that's the wrong button. So that's our normal attack, and that's our other attack. Anything going to the right is our quote-unquote secondary, and anything going to the left is our primary. These are kind of working. Let's go. Okay, one more. We have the SNS type, and then once that has been set up, we're only like 30 minutes into the stream, and then we'll have 2 of the points done. So let's lock that one. Let's go to our SNS type and let's create our last attack data. So SNS type, attack 2. Boom. Secondary. This attack length is less than a second. Let's go. We can steal this. Yo, how's it going? I don't have much up with me other than the old game, but ask me whatever you want about it, and I'd be happy to answer. Also, by the way, my name is Frank, which is maybe the weirdest tone of voice I could have attached to that. Reading a script that gets last message and use last message and use it into Unity. Okay. Yeah, nice to meet you. Is it pronounced anime? Like the Japanese cartoons? So like a mine or Amine? I don't know. Amine. I'm really bad with names. I'm super bad with names. Okay, gets the last message from a stream, so like a chat message. Oh wow, that arm is bent. Okay, so it's gonna start here. spectators, I don't know, player fight. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it sounds like I know someone set up like making chat play like Pokemon. It sounds like a more intricate version of that. Or rather than like depending on the chat consensus, you would have like them control something. But it needs to be a little more complex than like, oh, are we gonna go left or are we gonna go right? I would say. I don't know how to do that, but it's fun. Okay, so this is gonna start swinging at 0.25. Yeah, no, it's a super cool idea, and it seems like kind of a win with streamers because it gives them something to do with their chat. This is 23. Yeah, 23. So 0.383. Okay. So how is the script going? That sounds super sick, and I kind of want to know more about it. Like, what kind of game are you attaching it to? Oh, hold on, I want to delete that. All right. So that's all of my secondary animations using Python and Flask. That sounds good. Like Unity is gonna tell the server what is the last message, and then it's gonna return or give the data to Unity. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that sounds sick. Are you able to use Flask as, like, I don't know exactly how the Twitch API works, but are you able to, like, do you have to send an API call to then get the data from Twitch for the last message? You're gonna try it on my chat. Okay. Okay. Well, good luck. I'm not giving you any sort of keys. You're gonna do web scraping. Cool. Okay. Well, if you start spamming me, I will. Or if you start botting me, I'll have to kick everyone. But other than that, feel free to do whatever. All right, so let's see. We are done with adding the second attacks, and we enabled them, which is going a lot faster than I thought it was gonna. I thought it was going to. Okay, so I guess it's time to take some pretty little pictures and set up some backgrounds. Oh god. Okay, so we have the test map. We have the training ground. Then we have planet cruisers and gravity labs. Oh, those should be two. Okay. I'd use the YouTube data API, but I can't because it checks every time. Oh, you only get like a certain number of YouTube API calls? I know, like that sort of kind of makes sense. I don't know if you're gonna be able to. You might want to just like try and get a chat log. If you're gonna do the scraping, then you can get the entire log at one point, and then you can do the scraping locally. That way you don't use up all your tokens or your coins. Checks every time. Yeah. Okay. Oh, and creation. Creation, Gravity Labs, which is gonna kill the lighting. I think that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. Okay. This is what happens when you put all the maps loaded at once. There's a lot of stuff in the center. There's a lot of stuff in the center. And you can see that the scale of certain maps can fit inside of other maps. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So I guess let's start by unloading those. Can we use a deactivated one? Maybe. Yeah, I guess so. God. Okay. I need to work on this because there's a lot of glare. Damn. I can't even like see my own whatever it's called. Okay. Okay. Cool. We'll take that. Let's do the training ground. Where did you go? Where did it go? What? Oh, it's all the way at the bottom. Like, this is why I need to get rid of the glare. If you got it. No, you're chilling. You're totally chilling. Don't worry. Okay. Boom. Let's see if these are popping out accurate. That's all the way at the top. I don't want to expose my every single file to y'all. Where is the screenshots folder? Save to Gazworth screenshots. They're just not there. Yeah, no, none of these are here. Wow. Are you just not working? What's going on? That's a good question. How many years of experience? I've been using Unity since I was in middle school. So, years of proper experience, like I'd say if I was doing this in industry, maybe like 3 or 4. But if I was, if you're just counting hobby time, I've been doing this for like a decade. God, why? I'm just gonna reload this entire screenshot tab. I don't know why it has decided it's not gonna work. It could be, maybe it was just not active. It does not want to work. Come on. Oh shit, nice. What else have you been doing game dev wise? Yeah, well, honestly, I think it's more fun as a hobby. But for the record, the thing I'm getting frustrated with is this thing keeps saying that it's saved a screenshot here to this folder. The folder exists. The screenshot does not. Yeah, come on. I don't even know how to like get this thing to work. Yeah, capture screenshot for that. Screen capture, capture screenshot. Yeah. You do web apps and software on Python. Python's fun. Python's really, really fun. It's also like kind of nice to debug because it's interpreted. I went to college for computer science, and one of the projects I had was we used a Python library which is very close to Flask, but it was made by the professor, and we made a little like territory control web game, it was super fun, and then we had to like present it, and everyone was playing it during the presentation. And so we just had it, like we didn't have slides or anything. We were just talking while people were playing the... Oh shit, people know each other. Let's go. Hello, hello. Okay, I might just be taking screenies another day. Maybe I just need to reload that engine. Wait, so how do you all know each other? Alright, I'm interested. Yeah? Who else do y'all watch? Okay, now is it gonna work? It would be... No. Man. Huh. Package manager. What is your Unreal project? Can I get the like elevator pitch? I haven't worked in an Unreal project in a long time. Also, my name is Frank. You don't have to address me as streamer. No. Frankie. There's an infinite amount of ways to spell my name wrong. What? He said no. Damn. Well, that's a rip. Oh well. It's cause I still haven't figured out how to get the screenshot thing to work. That's why. I just know it. I don't know. Did I say no? I didn't say no. Yeah, no, I'd be down. As long as I have time. I might not have time, but I'm down. Well, I'll decide if I'll work on it if I find out what I'm working on. Okay, I'm just gonna. Well, I'm tabling these two. These ones are gonna get tabled. That's a lot of spam. Thank you. Chat's still small enough to moderate itself. Okay. Well, I'm gonna try and get surface hit decals working, and we'll see if I'm able to do that. Combat manager. God, I wish I used regions here. That would be kind of cool. Surface hit detection. Surface hit from camera. Okay. Decals. And so we're gonna want a private. I'm just gonna copy this. This is what we want to hit. And then we're already in the combat manager, so we don't need that. And I believe the way this works is we're gonna have, yeah, it's literally just something that starts a coroutine, and something that is the coroutine. I don't know what this does. Oh, it just plays the sound. Okay. Yeah. So we'll want that later. I need to start making a list of sounds. Sheath. Unsheath. Swing. Swing effort. Swing miss. Swing hit. Block. Let's say block signal. Surface hit. What else do we got? Okay, we'll leave that there. Okay, so we don't want this scriptable object attack data. Yeah, so we'll take an attack data and then does it not get used like at all? Huh. It doesn't matter. Oh. You know what? It gets used here. All right. That's why we need it. Now it's just time to get all of this to look like I made it recently. So that's called spawn after offset. Everything else seems to be named appropriately. Oh, we lost someone. Rip. Rip the homie. It was nice having you. Okay. All right. Let's get this working. So when we swing, we're going to want... Wait, I can just close this out. We have our attack animation, and we have our start hit detection. Yeah. Okay. Because I still don't stop watching random streams. That's funny. It's like when you're like going out to the grocery store and you're not ready to see people and you run into them. It's always when it happens. Okay. Really? I mean, how common is it? How often do you find them? Okay, we can just take in an attack. Yeah. That's funny. Y'all just always on the lookout for the next big next meeting place. I don't know. It's interesting. There's a couple of people that I went to school with and we all play the same games, but we don't play them together. So I've been in Counter-Strike lobbies and just seen someone on the other team. I'm like, there's no way. And then you start messaging them and you're like, hey, I know you. And it's great.
it's the best thing ever. Guess we'll take that. Except it can be like that. We don't need to take either of those in now. Ooh. Because of the attack animation, we get an attack data. I don't know. That's a weird question. To how old are you? I mean, I don't have enough viewers for demographics, but I'm gonna guess like 20. What does this return? This returns an attack data. Okay, and now that's gonna be not happy, but I can make it. It'll be fine. And then we have our attack data. Okay. Okay. Now we're gonna need to make sure that all of those are set up. Oh. Drum roll. You're 13? Okay, and you've been... Hold on, where was it that you said you've been doing 4 years in game dev? So you've been doing game dev since you were 9? How did you even get into it? Oh my god. Yo, I'll try and keep the cursing to a minimum. Okay. Did you start Scratch in school? Or... Jeez, I didn't know. I didn't know Trig at 13. I didn't know Trig at 15. Okay. All by yourself. Wow. What drove you to start? Like, I know sometimes like parents will get their kids into programming because they think it's like a good career path. Nice. Yeah. I mean, I think my parents would have tried to help me out if they knew anything about programming. But they're like, no clue. So go and do it. Combat, weapons. How are we looking here? Okay, we need some decal objects. Okay, so we're gonna take the primary prefab. And we want the secondary prefab here. So that's actually got a time. Let's see. I'm gonna just look at what we used to have. T-type primary attack data. Okay, so that's just normal. Cool. So we got that, and we got that. Now let's see if it works. This is always the big thing is, hey, I made a thing. Does it work now? How much code can I write before having to debug it? Boom. Oh. We need to actually set excuse me. We need to actually set up all of our references to things. Combat manager. So we want it on the default layer. Cool. And then let's start with the interaction start point. We'll take that. Oh, interesting. Sometimes it does both. Okay, so here is what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a private coroutine. We're gonna call this surface hit coroutine equals null. And then here, if attack equals null or surface hit coroutine is not null. So if we're only going to ever have one of these, if we don't have an active coroutine, then we're going to create one. And then when we're done with it, we're going to set it to null so that it's cleared out. There we go. So that's very basic. And I wonder. Oh, okay. Okay. So now the only thing I want to look into is decal layers. And then I want to go through, let me just make a really quick. Prefabs and times for each sword. And decal layers. Distribute, obviously it's a must-have feature. Don't have any ETA. For decal layers. Okay. We get to fun time. Where is decal layers? It's in 2022 LTS. I am using 2022. Okay. Unity decal layers. How do I actually set that up? Decal renderer. Yeah. Create a quad. Use rendering layers. Okay, so I guess we gotta look at it. Let's weapons, D-type, decals. So this is our decal. I guess, do we need to update the package? That's a big possibility. It's the Unity registry decal. What? I thought it was a package. Okay. How to use this feature? Add a feature. Select a renderer. Is this the one we're using? I have no idea. Okay, render feature, decal, technique, use rendering layers. Yes. Okay, so then now on the decal, do we have that? So add render feature. So we already have that set up. Decal renderer feature. Yes. Go to quad. Okay. Use rendering layers. If you enable this, URP creates a depth normal prepass, making decals less efficient on GPUs. Okay. Yeah. Use rendering layers. Now how do I actually set this up? Okay, so we want to look at the rendering layers, light layer default. Is there, or is it just an object with a renderer that I can look at? Mesh renderer. I don't think it's that. So on the decal projector, rendering layers receive decals. So then on this, that's just a material. That's a texture. So here, I mean, this is our rendering layers. Everything light layer 1. But then how do I, what is on what rendering layer? Yeah, so we enable, oh, okay, so we want to go project settings, graphics, URP global settings. So we have these. I'm just going to create one for decals. Yeah, and then red, enable that. Okay, so then we want to just put this on decals and not that one. So it's just going to be on decals. Okay, and then light general rendering layers, mesh renderer, rendering layer mask. Oh god. Mesh renderer. Additional settings. Wow. Okay, except for, oh god. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. How? This is gonna be fun. So then how do I get this to not be like that? Oh, well, I mean, the first thing that we gotta do is set that to not use those. Where are our hit decals being spawned? I know they're here. So we have a primary. And we have 2 secondaries, 1 and 2. So those ones are here. And if we set this to decals, and not that, then we set this one to decals and not that. That's on decals. That's on, oh. Yeah, primary, secondary. Let's unload you. It's gonna be really interesting to try and figure this out, because now they're just not spawning. Boom. Now if we look at every single mesh renderer, okay, we want to remove that, and we'll see if that works. I don't think lighting is going to be conditionally rendered on certain layers, but I have no idea how to get this to work. Boom. Boom. There we go. Okay, so then we just, that kind of works. Yeah, cool. All right, there's gotta be, we have our is blocking thing here. That's in our start hit detection, so we probably want probably want to add these to our primary. Yeah, if active weapon equals null or is blocking equals null, then just return. So that way we don't have to check any of this already. Okay. That way we can't start like a surface hit detection without actually swinging, because right then we were able to not swing and be able to hit a decal or send out a decal. Okay. So now I just got to go into every single map and make every mesh renderer on the decal layer. Boom. Boom. Wow. Huh. My game? It already is. Oh, that reminds me when I have to make these surface objects network. Yeah, no, it's already multiplayer. I was developing it for like a year and a half, and then I was like, I had already wanted it to be multiplayer, but I hadn't put any like the actual time into figuring out how it was going to be. And so I ended up needing to restart because multiplayer isn't something that you can kind of just add in later. A lot of the core systems need to be set up to be split locally and remotely. So yeah, this game is multiplayer. Already is. Actually, I can show you really quick if you're watching. I do want to keep going. It's definitely not the easiest thing to wrap my head around some days, but it's fun. It's like I can open multiple clients here, and like we can make this one the host if I could spell. And we can make this one the client man. And now they're both in a lobby. We can set them to 2 different teams. And I'm gonna, you know what, I'll leave it on the test map. And so yeah, we have our 2 characters, and we can swing and do damage. There's still some bugs where like, there's supposed to be health regen on both characters. The one on the left is the server, and so the health regen is working on the server, but it is not working on the client, which is the guy on the right, which is why this guy's health is just kind of stuck. But yeah, it's been a a pretty good learning process. And I've been working on this current iteration since November or October, one of those 2. So I'm pretty much entrenched in it right now. Okay. Okay, so we need to do, so we want only 1. We want to network them. And we want to set all of our map rendering layers. And I think I can actually go through and I can just get rid of these because I actually finished everything that I wanted to get done. Everything that was absolutely necessary to get done is done today. So now it's just fun stuff, which is just getting as ahead as I can. What is this? Jeez. Oh, I still have an entire demo in here. Okay. Mesh renderer. Yeah, okay, so that's actually something I have a lot of experience with. I've only finished 2 games. And I've been working technically 3. But I've been working on games since I was in middle school. So like, you know, I have a decade of experience and I don't really have too much to show for it. And it's just because every time, like, it's really easy to start a project, but it's really, really hard to finish it. For a couple of reasons. I mean, obviously it's a lot less fun once you get to, I think the term is like mid-development hell. So once you've finished prototyping all the systems and it's time to just add in content, it kind of gets boring, unless you can find some way to keep it interesting. And so it's really easy to just kind of burn out. It's also sometimes really, really hard to pick a stopping point because ultimately, like, this is some amount of artistry. So it's never going to truly be done. It's just going to be released. So like technically all of the demos that you made or the prototypes that you made are games. So it's not like you never finished anything. You just never released it, right? Like if you just stop working on something, that's just its natural end. But I totally relate to that. There's so many projects that have just completely fallen to the wayside and I'm never going to pick them up again. But this one I really want to get done, mostly because it's one hell of a thing to put on a resume. But it's also going to take like another year. Oh, I already did the training ground.
Decals. Unload. Oh, maybe I don't want the invisible kill planes to be able to have decals rendered on them, even though that's kind of funny. Oh, and the mesh of the fly zones. Oh god. Okay. I mean, the fly zones do not need mesh renderers. They just don't. They need box colliders. Oh god, that means I need to check some stuff in some of the other maps. Okay, Gravity Labs. Mesh renderer. Okay, that we can actually work with. That's all set up. Okay, now I think the only other one. I mean, this has a kill plane, maybe. We want to unload you. Okay, that one doesn't have a mesh render, so we're fine there. That one has a mesh renderer, that one doesn't. I'm gonna get rid of this one's mesh renderer. Now we have our fly zones, which I want to get rid of the mesh renderer. And anything that says zone. No. And then these have gravity fields, which I don't want to have decals. So we can just add one there. Planet, lower planet, gravity field, and I think it would look weird if you could put a decal on like on the atmosphere range. I think that would be kind of interesting. Same thing with water. Teleporters. Okay. You know what? These are also not going to be able to have decals, but that's my bad. Okay. Let me just make a real quick list of everything that so polish, so decal layers are objects that shouldn't receive decals, I think is what I'm gonna write down. Boom. So we've got kill planes, water, teleporters, gravity zones, fly zones, atmospheres. The health regen pool probably shouldn't be getting decals. These health kits. Health kits, I think they're solid objects. Am I forgetting anything? I think that's it. Okay. Okay. All right, now we can do some real quick debugging, and so that still gets it, but we don't want to be able to put them on water. That's good. And the health regen pool does not get one. Cool. Sweet. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, that's still active. We don't want that one active. Okay. So now I just want to debug why we're getting multiple. Like if I just click a bunch of times. Oh. Like we're starting them a lot. Also, the terrain was just not receiving. Include layers. Oh, okay. Terrain settings. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna want to look at all of the. No, let me edit the render layers. Come on. Okay, fine. I guess I gotta do this manually on each and every one. This is gonna be a pain. This is just gonna take way too long. That's why I got carpal tunnel. Ripple age 22. Okay. All right. That's the wrong one. I'm getting there. Two more. Two. And oh, I guess technically two more now. Because there's still our default terrain. Boom. Okay. So then what? Why? I mean, they should be working. I don't know why necessarily it's deciding that something that is null is actually not null. Other way around. Something that's not null is actually null. Want to figure out why this is getting run. Because if we just swing it normally, it makes sense. But it's getting run twice every single time we click, and there's a true and a false, and every once in a while it's true, and every once in a while it's false. I mean, you can see it only changes when the attack changes. Okay. But when it's false, that's when it's gonna break through. Oh no, when it's false, that's when we're gonna return. So what's changing then? What is changing? So if we have an active weapon, I mean, obviously I don't think we're gonna get any decals. Yeah, if we don't have an active weapon. So we know that condition's working. And this one works if we do it normally, but if we click a bunch of times, you can see that the false is getting triggered a lot more than the true, but sometimes the true is just there. I want to see what happens with this in our fixed update. So if we go here, we can debug log if this is not equal to null. So now realistically we should be able to find out if our coroutine is being set null prematurely. Yeah, it's only true for a little bit. Okay, so what I think is happening is we're able to swing multiple times really, really quick. And this is only going to last until the time offset. Yes. Okay. Yeah. And then it's going to run this once. So I don't know how to like draw this out, but basically we have like a total time. And somewhere in here is our decal point. So we have our start and our end. Oh wow, that's particularly bad. And the colors are all gonna be sort of messed up. But somewhere in here, this is probably, I'm gonna make this green. This is our hit detection period. And then this is just the whole animation. And so what's happening is we can click here. Let me change this color. So we click to start it. And then if we click before here, we'll get false. So we just won't spawn another decal. But if we click anywhere after this decal point, so if we click here, then we'll get a true. And oh, that is not how you spell. And we'll be able to spawn another decal at that distance here. So this would be our second decal spot, which is not great. So we have a few options. We can either keep blocking decals until the end, or we can come up with some way of detecting if we are in an attack. And I think that's what I want to do. Oh no, don't do that. Hit detection. I mean, hit detection goes for the entire attack length. So we can just check if the hit detection coroutine is there. Mono behavior is so. Does not equal null. So basically, make sure we have a weapon. We're not blocking. And we're not already attacking. That should fix our decal issue.
Okay, and now, now we just need to look for a decal range because it seems super long. What is our decal range?
So decal time offset. It's for the attack range, maybe? Is that what we chose? I think it's the attack range, actually. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, we don't need a decal range. It should be the same as the attack range. Just that we have some... Oh, just we have some way of demonstrating how far attacks are able to actually hit. All right. So now, map players. I also need to write down that we need to do this for all of the other swords. So I believe we got this working. Oh, that's not red. We got this working only once. We got all of our map layers down. So now it's just networked and set all of our values. I'm actually gonna, like, there's no reason to have all of the extra stuff in all of these, which we don't. Good. So we can take, oh, I don't want to get rid of that just in case. We can take our decals and our sounds and we can move them up a folder. Underscore and underscore decals and sounds. I hate that I can't pick a consistent naming scheme. It's fine. Okay. So then we can now just steal that. And then on this one, we can go and we can set every single decal parameter. Oh, that's nerd herd, that's why. Gameplay, player pawn, combat, weapons. So on the E type, they're both going to be sideways. So we can take primary and primary. Primary prefab. I'm going to rename these primary to sideways decal. And this is going to be vertical decal, meaning that should actually be horizontal. And then melee is going to be a dot decal. But I don't think we're going to use that just yet. Create folder. We'll just call this assets. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Hopefully that means that I don't have to go and change anything. Horizontal. Primary prefab, meaning that we want to change that to horizontal. If we go to the G type, attack 1, horizontal. Attack 2, vertical. Cool. G type, attack 1, melee. That we are gonna need the melee prefab. And attack 2, that's doing this, so it's gonna be a horizontal. K type, we're gonna need a horizontal for 1 and a vertical for 2. And then for the SNS type, it's the same thing. We want horizontal for 1 and vertical for 2. Now, the hard part is we got to go and get all of our times, which I don't particularly feel like doing, but we're just going to get it done. And then we'll go from there. Gameplay, combat, weapons, D-type. So we have our primary. So we have our attack 1 and our attack 2 set up. So now let's go
down this list. So it's the E-type. Primary is 0.3, which we have. And attack 2 is 0.366. Cool. E-type is set up. G-type, attack 1. It looks altered. Yeah, attack 1. And just in case I didn't do attack 2, we got it. Okay, cool. K-type is next. So for this one, we're gonna actually need our primary is the normal one, and then our secondary. Man, I'm just like actually ahead of the game. All the stuff I'm checking has already been set. So for the S and S, these ones have already been set too. Oh man, okay, so then we should just be good on decals, other than making them networked, which is gonna be our last little step, and shouldn't be all too hard. Come on, come on, come on. Boom. Yeah, and then they don't. There we go. Boom. Boom. Cool. Surface hit. Boom. 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 Do you want to give me the other one? This is embarrassing. Of course, that's when I get it. Is there just not one set? Or is the... Ah! Here's what's happening. It is being spawned. It's just that our decals, or our dot decal, is on the normal light layer. And we want it on that one. Okay. This is why we test everything. So we want to grab our G-type. Boom. Boom. There we go. There we go. All right. So then that's all of our values. I'm going to write that all down. And now we just want to network the decals. So we set all of our values. Now we just got to spawn them on the network, which is interesting. How do I do the dropping of the weapons? I don't want that open. I'm going to split this left. So here, weapon, spawn weapon, despawn weapon. Okay. So yeah, this instantiates our game object, and we're gonna want to spawn the object over the network. Which is just gonna take doing that. Spawn obj, and it doesn't need an owner. It's just gonna exist. Server can own it. And then at some point, I'm gonna need to build it and make sure it's actually being spawned over the network. Oh, and we're gonna want to give all of these network objects. Or just network transform. We'll do both. Yeah, client authoritative, but server owned. And then I believe, do these go away after a certain amount of time? After 60 seconds, that will happen. Destroy. If game object dot is spawned, or I wonder if we destroy them. I'm gonna make this a network behavior. That one.
I want this scoped properly. Okay. If is server initialized return. And then so we'll only run this on the server. And we'll check if we can destroy the object. All right. That's great and all, and I love that I just edited that, but that's actually an old script that's gonna get nuked, so I need to create a new one.
Ooh, okay. Create a C# script. Destroy after time.
Okay. And then we're just gonna put that in here using fishnet. There we go. And then we're just gonna get rid of that one and that one. Boom. We don't want gameplay time to kill. We want destroy after time. All right. Cool. Now we just gotta add that to all of our prefabs. I really like working with prefabs because I don't have to go and change a bunch of things. I can just change it in one place, and that's all I gotta do. So we want the destroy after time, and I'm gonna set this to 30 seconds, and we can get rid of that. Cool. And also I'm gonna get rid of this parenting call when we spawn it, just so that it doesn't try and add a network object to anything at runtime, or a network behavior to something at runtime, because if something is the child of, or if a child of a non-networked parent is networked, it can't add a network behavior at runtime to the parent object, I don't think. No, you're good. You don't have to apologize. I'm just talking half so that I understand it, and half in case anyone's paying attention. Like, even if I wasn't streaming, I would be talking to myself. All right. So this is building. This is going to take like 3 minutes. I'm going to take a really quick bathroom break, and I will be done. I'll be back when it's done building. Yeah, no, you have to rubber duck a little bit. Like, you got to talk to something or someone about what you're working on just so that you understand it. That's just unfortunately how it goes. All right. I will be back really, really soon. So give it like 2 minutes.
All right, I am back. Literally right as it's done building. Let's go. All right, so this is just to test if the decals are being spawned over the network. And it doesn't look like it. It also could be the map itself, because that is a terrain. So let me reset the test really quick. That it's just that might not be the best thing to test on, because if things are terrains, they don't like getting objects spawned on them. I could have just hit one of the walls, I realize. Okay, let me hit that. Boom. Oh. So only the server is able to spawn them. But that works. I mean, to be fair, I'm not seeing them client side either. It's only if the server spawns them. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I gotta figure out how to, I guess, let the client do it, because it's using the same exact code as if we were to drop the weapon. And this one is the client, and we can very much drop the weapon, and it appears here. And we can do the same. We can even, like, trade swords. Boom. That one's mine now. And then this one's mine. But only the server can spawn them. That's interesting. Okay, I'm gonna return to the lobby, and I guess what I could do is start a remote game and then just open it in the editor. Or join it in the editor, I should say. I'm not being very good with words today. I do really apologize. Here we go. Join. Okay, so when we're in the editor, we get a surface hit, so we at least get that, but we have a warning. Cannot spawn because the server is not active and predictive spawning is not enabled. Huh. That's interesting. And this is getting called by line 374, which is our spawning of the object. Interesting. Ah, here's why. So this function is just a normal function, whereas this is an RPC. So private void, I'm just gonna copy this. So it's using the same code, but it's not an RPC. Cool. Private void spawn decal. Oh shit, it's dinner time? Yeah, I'll see you later. I usually stream Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays around this time. It's gonna be a little spotty for the next couple of weeks, but I'm sticking around. So go have fun. Go eat dinner. Hopefully it's good. Thanks for hanging out. Okay. Oh shit. Well, I don't remember the phrase to sort of celebrate Ramadan, but yeah, have fun breaking fast.
Okay, okay. That's what it is. I honestly, I might be too white to even pronounce it. But yeah. Seriously, thanks for sticking around and chatting. It was nice. I hope to see you again. Okay. God, okay. How do I even want to do this? So we need to call spawn decal. Oh yeah? I honestly didn't know you can do that for a stream. Hey, look. I thought I was just getting the normal number of viewers, getting a couple of people each day. But I'll look into that. Thank you. Where did that go? Okay. Now, I don't even know how I want to... how do I want to spawn this thing? Well, we can get the decal spawn point, the direction, and the rotation. So we can just take this call, put this in here, and then actually spawn the object. Let me just... Hold on. It'd be so much easier to just copy it straight. Okay. Okay, so the object to spawn is... Oh. Interesting. We can at least get the spawn point. So, vector 3, spawn point, and quaternion spawn rotation. Spawn position, spawn rotation, and then here. On the server. Spawn decal. With decal spawn point and underscore outbar. Okay. Okay, does that work locally here? And if it does, can we, oh, yeah. Like, I don't think I can send a game object either. Huh. Okay, so we don't want to send an attack. Can we send a game object? Decal object. And we can just push that in. Does that, is the editor okay with that? Yeah, okay, okay. And now we can see if it works. And then if it works here, I can get it working. Boom. Boom. Cool. Okay. Now I can build it again. Alright, how are we looking on the cookie? No. That was a horrible way to come back to Cookie Clicker. I was really hoping to get some good stuff, but no. Okay. Okay. Fine. Let's see. I posted. Hey, we got a subscriber. Okay. If this works, then before I even attempt to tackle camera shake, I want to open Destiny and check something. Yeah, we will see. Okay, it's built. Fingers crossed I did it correctly this time. Host. Join. Start game. We can put him on the wall. And we can put him on the wall. Let's go. Okay. So that's all networked. And I can't. There we go. All right. Okay. So then that's decals all the way done. That's cool. I need to go and set every terrain to also take decal values. But other than that, I think we've got them set up. Sword combat, surface stuff. And we actually have decal layering, which is cool. That wasn't in the last prototype. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna move this off the screen so I can push it to Git. Add git commit -m surface decals now spawn over the network. And actually really quick, let me load up this, click on our one terrain object and set this to use decals and then save it. Unload scene, git add, boom, git commit test map terrain now accepts decals. Git push. There we go. Now once it pushes, I can close that out. There we go. Close that out, bring it over here, and I'm doing a criminal offense. I'm opening Destiny 2 because I want to check and see if I got something from an escapade last night, and then if I did, I want to check the Bright Dust stuff. So let's see, Cookie Clicker's running. Destiny 2, okay, it's running and just taking a really long time to load up. We love that. Love that for it. There we go. typically whenever I do this, anyone who is watching the stream leaves. But man, we'll see. We will definitely see. I have a friend who is my best friend is posting about Midnight Coup being back, and I'm kind of hype. Defend a, and there's a wave-based defense mode. Okay, well that's all new stuff, and I want to look at that later. Because there was a stream or a trailer or something that apparently. Oh, Infamy for the Taking last week at Guardian Games. Ghostbusters stuff. It would be cool if the Ghostbusters stuff was free. Alright, let's see if I get the thing by loading in here. Worst case, I can just do one thingy here. One activity. But I would like to get the engram so I can just be done and get the hoverboard. Kind of cool. Alright, let's see what's in the store. Let's get our free Bright Dust. Triple bogey. What was this? Like a avoid the rough out there? What is that? Is that supposed to be like a... It's the hockey thing. I forget what it's called. Yo, it's neither of these. Those are probably good. I just don't really want them. Okay. Engram didn't pop. Let me change characters and then see if the engram pops then. If it doesn't, not sure. YouTube is not receiving enough. Oh, hey, we got some encoding lag. Okay. Wow. Really didn't like that. So that effed. It's effing again. It is effing consistently. Huh. Well, hopefully it will stop effing. But it doesn't look like it. That's a lot of... Ooh. Twitch still says this is excellent. But it's encoding lag. Okay. What's my CPU usage at? My CPU usage is at 1.6. But it's probably my GPU being super utilized by the game. Okay. Wow. If we don't have it now... Alright, we're going to close that. And how quickly does it stop encoding issues? Oh, man. Okay, well. Alright, I don't... Jesus, what are we having an issue with? If I stop you, does it stop? Huh. Alright, I consider turning out video settings using a faster encoding preset. I don't know what's wrong with it. It's super dead. Well, that might just be, I guess, where I call